Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 315. I am Brendan. The PFL 2023 playoffs is going to be the women's featherweights and the men heavyweight. Okay? Men's heavyweight, like there's women's heavyweight. We're going to break down the fights here. It's going to be Maurice Greene versus Renan Ferreira. There's Pacheco, Olena, Kolesnyk, Denis Goltsov versus Jordan Heiderman, and Amber Leibrock versus Marina Mokhnatkina. So we're going to cover all of those fights here. Spoiler alert. Not a lot of breakdowns in this one, so subscribe to the channel if you know when the next video is coming out. If you are looking for a specific fight, the timestamps are down below. Like I said, not a lot to break down here, guys. We'll go over a little bit of the preview of the next fights too. We'll probably have time. All right, so first fight, we got Maurice Greene taking on Renan Ferreira. Got to be honest, not a lot of competitive. So something I noticed, right? So this playoff season kind of stinks, especially in these divisions. It's almost like they got rid of half of their best fighters. Almost like half of them popped for some banned substances. This is a good time to talk about it. This is a good time to talk about this. So let's break down the fight real quick. Ferreira was throwing the right hand hard, using the stiff jab up top into the body, some hard low kicks. Greene with his back to the cage, just getting picked apart. Greene was throwing an oblique kick to the lead leg, which was working a little bit, and Ferreira was sticking to the basics but keeping the pressure on. Greene landed a low kick but got countered by 3 hard shots. And then a big right hand put him down, and it's over. I think we have a shot of that right here. This is right before the end of the first round, and it's just all over. Boom. That's the end of it. Renan Ferreira looks really good. The guy's insanely talented. He's really big. It's just Maurice Greene, he's just never been up to snuff, and he shouldn't have been in the playoffs to begin with. So you end up with a situation like this. I think all of this, I would say episode, but all of this card is like that. You know what? Screw it. Let's go through the whole card. And then we'll talk about why I think it's silly. All right, Larissa Pacheco versus Olena Kolesnyk. Freaking 13 seconds long. Pacheco landed a right hand, and this honestly was kind of a joke. She landed. This was the whole fight, guys. That's it. The whole fight. Not even close. So before we go to the next fight here, just a question. What was the PFL thinking? Are they looking to give money away? I mean, I know of a lot of people who could use $1 million. And honestly, I think a lot of those people would, that storyline of giving that person who needs money, or that group of people who need money, or an organization who needs money, I think that storyline would bring more eyes to the PFL than Larissa Pacheco knocking these bitches out. I mean that. I'm honest, because no one's tuning in to watch Larissa Pacheco. Not right now. And I know you got to build her brand. So you could do that by putting her, you had the Kayla Harrison thing last year at 155. I think that did elevate her status quite a bit. But let's be honest, the 155 division was built on Kayla Harrison. She's in the Bose commercial. She's in all the interviews. And now she lost to someone who... Can we all just admit what actually do we have to play this game? Do we have to play this game where we don't talk about what we see? Like we pretend we don't see it? I mentioned it before. She's got an extremely deep voice. She's got wide shoulders, developed traps, a jawline, like a masculine jawline, and muscular development that does not besuit most women. So unless she has a genetic disorder that is making her produce more testosterone, she's clearly used them before, right? And for a division that just kicked out, or for an organization that just kicked out half of their people for this season, like seeing this as your pinnacle, it kind of throws the sport for a loop, doesn't it? When men are on testosterone, like for a lot of people, it's obvious, but it's just more of an accentuation of what the secondary male sex characteristics that you're going to see anyway, right? Wide shoulders. Okay, well, dudes have wide shoulders because they have more testosterone. Deeper voices. Okay, guys have deeper voices. Even though it technically can shrink your vocal cords but it's all temporary. And again, all the side effects for men are temporary. Sorry, most of the side effects are temporary and reversible. For women, they're not. And, when you see this, it was the same problem that they had when Cyborg is your champ. Cyborg has become, I think, slightly more marketable over time because she's built this huge career. But initially, when she knocked out Gina Carano, that was kind of the end of it. They were like, okay, well, Cyborg's really good, but Carano was the face of the organization. It's hard to market women's MMA when you just have someone who's just a power puncher, or like who just comes in there and is like bigger and stronger. It's harder. It's harder to do it. It's all evidence in the past, right? Here's the other thing. Here's the other side of the coin. You have a highly skilled, technical female fighter. You've got your Amanda Nunes. You've got your Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Wei Li, Rose Namajunas, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. They marketed the hell out of them, and they drew eyes when they could, and they've had some of the most exciting fights that you can imagine. It's insane. It's so much fun to watch. That's not what we're seeing here. We're seeing bully ball, right? We're seeing a chick go in there and bully other ones who probably shouldn't even be in there with her. And now you're going to give her $1 million to do that again. Congratulations for Pacheco, to be honest. Like, this is not to knock her specifically. It's more just the planning around this season. Because last season it made sense having her in the 155, and then the fact that she beat Kayla Harrison, fantastic. That's great. It took Kayla Harrison down, but the division was made for Kayla Harrison. It was building up to something bigger, and it kind of fell apart. With this, what are you building here? I could be wrong. Maybe, this is going to build Pacheco's brand, and they're going to try and build up a super fight or something. But Nunes just retired. I don't see a reason for her to come fight in the PFL for sure. Who do we have in Bellator that's a real challenge that's going to come over? I don't know what their plan is here, because the PFL doesn't operate. Okay, let's talk about it now since we're already here. The PFL having their season doesn't allow them to operate like a normal organization, like the Bellator, UFC, One Championship. It means that they have to follow their season timeline and their season parameters and their schedule, where they have 2 regular season fights and then possibly 2 playoff fights, depending on if they win, right? And because of that, you end up with situations where what happens when someone misses weight? Oh, in this fight, so Olena Kolesnyk missed weight, and I'm not freaking out about it because she didn't win, so it doesn't negatively affect the tournament the way that the last one that I talked about did. But it's horrible. The fact that that's allowed to happen in a playoff series makes no sense to me. And then what happens when someone misses a drug test? What happens when someone gets injured? So the drug testing thing, that happened during the season. So now they had to scramble to get everybody together and bring in new people. It creates a situation where you might get some breakout stars, or you might just get this. You might get people who've already lost to that same person twice, and because of the playoff structure, they're forced to fight him for a third time in a fight that nobody's interested in, to watch her get demolished in 13 seconds. but the thing is, like, you've already set yourself up for failure, I think, in the season by creating this division, because you can't, like, they can have showcase fights, but the whole idea is the PFL is different. So it's hard to build a division around somebody and build up matchups when you're forcing them to fight all the time. This really works. I think this format works so much better when you have, like, the deep divisions, right? When you got your 155s. I honestly think that it works better in all the divisions that naturally work better in every other organization. 140 for women, possibly 105 for atom weight, 115 for sure. So straw weight, and then not bantamweight, flyweight, 125. 135 is pushing it. 145 is non-existent. 155, no, absolutely not. Right? It's just the depth of talent that you're going to find. Not just in the sport, in the world, right? And for men, you're talking 135, 145, 155, 170, and then once you get up to 185, it starts to thin out just a little bit. It starts to thin out because now we're looking at men who might be going to other sports. And now you get to 205. So I think it works really well when you have a crazy depth of talent or people who have already built their name somewhere else and they come over here and they're fighting in your season. But homegrown talent like this, or someone who's, wasn't successful anywhere else and doesn't have a name and is just beating up other chicks, I don't know how many eyes it's bringing to the sport. Like, are you pumped? Are you pumped for the finals? I mean, I'm not. You might be. Tell me why I'm wrong, to be honest. Like, if as a purist, maybe I should like it more, but I just don't. All right, Denis Goltsov versus Jordan Heiderman. This fight existed. We have highlights. Nope. Heiderman was trying to wade his way in, looking with like weird hooks as Goltsov dodged most of them using the jab. He's using the jab to the body really well. Goltsov, low kicks. Goltsov using the double overhooks to get the outside trip, gets on top, and then Heiderman fights for guard, takes some nasty ground and pound and process. Oh, yeah, so we do have it. And then Goltsov gets that arm triangle and gets a finish. Real tight. He wasn't even, he was in mount. He wasn't off to the side, but Heiderman tried to roll to his belly to prevent the choke, but he wasn't able to turn around completely and gets submitted. So excellent win for Goltsov. Oh, was that the longest fight of the card? I don't know. Not the card, but the playoffs. All right, Amber Leibrock versus Marina Mokhnatkina. All right, so this is the rematch. Obviously, Amber Leibrock caught her with the kick, which Mokhnatkina said, it's a lucky shot. So she has an opportunity to right the wrong. Leibrock right in on the clinch, and Marina throws her down, gets on top, and then Marina fighting for the armbar. Leibrock was using the legs to squeeze the head, but it just doesn't last forever, and she wasn't trying to get up out of position, which is how you, like, she just got overextended. Yeah, and it's over. It's weird. It's not weird. When you're in that position and they've already got your arm and they've got both legs over, I mean, there's a couple different things you can do. One of the things is getting a leg involved, so she was doing that a little bit by getting her legs, but she was squeezing the head, and that grip is only going to last so long. Like, unless you have some crazy squeeze or you scissor, like you twist your legs around and you try to get the thigh squeeze in there. Even then, like, I don't know if you're going to be able to hold their head for very long. You really got to get up out of there, right? You got to get up out of there. You got to either get your head back inside and bring your other head in, so you end up in guard, or you pressure into them. You might be able to pull your arm out if you stack them. When you're that splayed out already, though, and they've got their legs extended, it's hard to do that. It was just a rough position, and I think she just waited too long in that position, and got too comfortable being there and tried to work her way out, but it was already too late. All right, so let's look at some finals, shall we? Larissa Pacheco taking on Marina Mokhnatkina. I don't think they fought yet. Pacheco's cardio looked really good last year when she had to go against Kayla Harrison. Her grappling is much improved. She's been able to defend takedowns. So what is Mokhnatkina going to do to her? Probably nothing. And can Mokhnatkina take a punch? I mean, she got kicked in the head, which is harder than most people can punch. So it's not a direct one-to-one comparison about how good her chin is. We'll see. My guess is that I would put this one like 90-10, maybe 95-5 on Pacheco. I don't see anything about Marina's game that says like she's going to be able to go in there and really, if she can use her grappling effectively and get into the clinch and control Pacheco on the ground, she can make it interesting. I just don't see it happening. Denis Goltsov versus Renan Ferreira. Goltsov might not be here if we didn't have the drug testing. And because of that, I favor Ferreira. I think Ferreira looked really patient in this fight. I think he, working with ATT, which they made a big deal out of, I think he's they've reined him in a little bit. He's a big dude. He's like 6'7" or 6'8" or something. He's a big guy. He has a lot of skills. He's fast. He's strong. I think he has a really good opportunity here. If he can use his size and length against Goltsov and keep him at range and then use his athleticism to land some big shots here and there, I think he can pick Goltsov apart. If he tries to get crazy, Goltsov might be able to jab his face off. I don't know how much grappling there's going to be. I'm sure there will be some panic wrestling at some point. But yeah, these two, I'm not excited. I'm really not. I'm not that excited to watch these guys. I'm more excited for the light heavyweights, the Impa Kasanganay, Josh Silveira, and the featherweights, Gabriel Braga versus Jesus Pinedo. That sounds fun. It's a rematch from earlier. I'm down for that. But I think next week, which is of course the week I'm gone, it has probably the best fights. It has the best fights on the playoffs so far. So, let me know what you guys thought of the card. Let me know if you guys are interested. Are you guys watching the PFL this year? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel so you know the next video is coming out. I'll be posting UFC 292 stuff. I'm going to be covering that this weekend. So if you are interested, go check those out. And I appreciate y'all. Have an amazing week. Love y'all.